My name is John Su, and thank you for taking the time to watch video number 8. Today's topic is going to be about an investing tool that I've developed to help investors sort their own portfolio and evaluate their own portfolio. And it's kind of interesting on how I came about to develop this tool. And I really began with the first question, asking myself the question, what are the most common frustrations that investors have with their investments? So being in the industry, what I've discovered is a lot of people are confused about what to invest in. They're unsure of what is a reasonable rate of return to expect on my investments. How do I deliberately build a low risk portfolio while still keeping the portfolio's growth modest? And when I say modest, in my opinion, modest rate of growth, a minimum that I shoot for is 8%. So as I begun to ask myself those questions in terms of how do I solve those problems for investors, I really knew that the tool had to be simple, easy to use, where it didn't require the person who developed it or somebody really knowledgeable to be there to help people sort their investments. So I made it really easy where I explain it once. You can always reference the video again, and then go home, take the tool that I've shown you and demoed on the video, and look at your own investments, evaluate it, and it will give you, I guess, an idea of how you're performing. So, first, I'd like to start off with my legal disclaimer. I am not a certified financial planner, I'm not a tax accountant, nor am I a lawyer, so everything and anything I say on this video or all of my videos and my blog is my personal opinion and should not be taken as professional advice. And it's my personal opinion based on stuff that I've seen in my own life and realizations that I've come to about investing. So let's talk about this tool that I've developed. The way that it's set up is it helps people sort their investments, but more so importantly, it helps people effectively use diversity. And really, when I say effectively use diversity, it's all about building your portfolio and growing it at a modest rate of return while reducing risk. And as you've heard before, diversity used by other people or explained by other people typically reduces your risk, but simultaneously neutralizes your profit potential. So I'm using diversity in a different way where you're still growing it at a modest rate of return. You will not earn a killing. So if you're looking to earn a killing, this is probably not the tool for you to use, but it's still a good video to watch because it's another opinion on investing. And when it comes to investing, it's always good to hear somebody else's perspective. So I guess I'll describe to you the tool that I've developed, and I'm going to reintroduce my ghetto bird diagram. So this is the tool that I've developed to help people sort their investments and really evaluate the performance of their portfolio if it's performing up to, I guess, an average performance portfolio. So when you look at it, this entire square is basically your profit to earn. The bottom half here is your initial investment. The top half here is your profit potential in the investment. Please notice this is 3 equilateral pieces of profit. And really the reason that I want to that I chose to make it equilateral is because I want to explain the idea of when you go into higher risk investments, the profit potential metaphorically grows also. So when you think about it, to earn the same amount of profit as each of these squares, when you go into higher risk investments, requires less initial investment or capital. So that's the reason when you look at this diagram, the largest amount of capital is in the lowest risk stuff because the profit potential is the smallest. But if you look at this, 3 equilateral pieces, and as you go up, the profit potential grows, and metaphorically, the amount of capital you invest decreases accordingly. So when I measure risk, I typically measure it in a really general term of time. The longer your money is out there, the higher risk the investment is. So 0 to 2 years, you should be earning anywhere from 0 to 9%. But based on what I know, in my personal opinion, I would not do an investment that could not earn 8% minimum. So for me, this number, instead of 0 to 9, it would be 8 to 9%. Then going up to the second chunk, it's 2 to 4 year investment, earning 10 to 19%. Then going into the higher risk investment, it's 5 years plus, and you should be earning a minimum of 20% per year. And really the percentages are really, I guess, averages that you should be technically earning. And really, when you look at your own investments, the numbers don't lie. If you are not getting this, then you really want to ask yourself, what else might you look at or consider investing in to perform to the average? I don't know what to call it. This is the average, what you should be doing. This is not making a killing, but this is not bottom of the barrel. This is just a range and an average for you to compare your own investments to. So really, when I talk about how do you effectively use diversity, it's all about staggering the amounts of capital versus the time frames that you get paid out. Because what you do with when you diversify the time frames that you get your investments to pay out, it mitigates against fluctuating markets, right? So when you reduce against the fluctuations of a market, and not all of your investments are exposed to a certain time frame, it reduces the risk. But because of the way that you've staggered it into high potential, medium potential, and low potential profit investments, it really brings the performance of the entire portfolio up, rather than betting everything on the high risk stuff. And if it doesn't work out, you're totally exposed to a certain time frame. And really, the amounts really plays with the profit potential. It's you want to grow your investment portfolio at a modest rate of return with the lowest risk. So you really grow the foundation with the largest amount of your investments, and then you just kind of go with a less amount at the second level and the smallest amount. And when you really balance it out, it creates that equilateral effect or equilateral portfolio growth. So how might you use this tool now? So for example, you take this tool, you go home, and you ask yourself, okay, all of my 5 year investments, let's sort them into 5 years, 2 to 4 years, and 0 to 2 years. Once you've sorted them, the second thing you want to do is really write down the dollar amounts. Is how much money do I have in the 5 year, how much money do I have in the 2 to 4, and how much money do I have in the 0 to 2 years. Then after you've written the dollar amounts down for your investments, write down what are the actual returns on them. And you really want to compare what the portfolio is actually earning in terms of percentage annual growth each year, and take an average. And are your numbers lower, higher, or in line with these ranges? If they are in line with these ranges, you're doing great. In my opinion, you're doing great. If they're doing better than these numbers, you're doing fantastic. But if they are doing lower than these numbers, then you really want to ask yourself, is this what you want? A portfolio that doesn't perform to market standards or averages, and are you okay with it? If you're okay with earning less, then you know what, stay in what you're invested in. But if you're not, you really want to start to ask around and look around for different investment vehicles. So for example, let's take a false portfolio. Somebody does their numbers, and what they've written down is in the 5 year stuff they have 50,000, in the 2 to 4 year they have 30,000, and in their 0 to 2 years they have 20,000. And as you can notice, their triangle is upside down. The majority or the biggest amount of their capital is invested in the highest risk stuff. The second biggest number, which is fine, is 30,000 is invested in the medium risk stuff, and the least amount is invested in the low risk stuff or the lowest paying stuff. And this is the typical case, because everybody would say, why would I put more money into a lower paying investment when I could put more into it? But remember, this model is based on lower risk, reducing your risk, and growing it at a minimum of 8% per year. So that's the reason in my model you would have the smallest amount at the top, and second in the middle, and then the largest amount on the bottom. So if I was this person, what I would do is redistribute the investments, where I would say have 20,000 in the top, 30,000 in the middle, and 50,000 at the bottom. And it's not necessarily to use these numbers, but just understand that because of this is a reduced risk model, you have the least amount at the top, the second largest in the middle, and the largest amount of your capital in the bottom. And that's just the way it's done. It's not a fixed number, it's just metaphorically speaking. So yeah, hopefully this tool is as simple as I think it is, and what other people have said. It is pretty simple that you could actually take it home and use it. And really what I would like is, if you do use it, implement it, and you've had a success with it, I'd really appreciate you leaving a blog message on there saying how it worked for you, or if it didn't work for you, leave a message on how it didn't work for you. And you know, because this is a recording, I'm not sure if I correctly explained it, but if you have any questions or concerns, contradictions to what I've said, please leave a message on the blog and I'll try my best to respond. And if I still haven't answered you to your satisfaction, which I really want to do, I'll personally call you and I guess give you the information you need to get clarification on whatever didn't make sense. So thank you for watching my video on the tool that I've built. And again, here's my blog address. Feel free to leave a comment. And our next video is going to be about how finding the right investment is more about personality than about earning profits. And that's a really interesting thing where a lot of people always get into investing and they're always looking in terms of making money. Oh, I want to make a killing, so let's go into high risk stuff. Or I'm a conservative investor. Let's go into lower risk stuff. When risk and risk is a valid variable to consider, but when you really think about it, in my opinion, it has more to do with a person's personality and their ability to handle stress than it has to do with risk. Even though risk is a cause of it, there's ways where you can earn similar profits, where the type of investment is is more hands-on or less hands-on. But that'll be in my next video. Really, finding the right investment has more to do with your personality than anything else. Okay, so stay tuned, and I look forward to your comments on the blog. Thank you.